The Honourable Member for Canberra.
Thank you, Speaker, and I congratulate you on your elevation to the chair. Today I have the great honour to table on behalf of thousands of women and non-binary people from around Australia the Everyday Climate Crisis Visual Petition, a collection of 1,247 images and personal statements showing the state of our environment in Australia today. The project is the brainchild of Hilary Wardho, and I am very pleased that she is here in the chamber today. She's a brilliant photographer and had this idea based on the idea that, of course, a picture is worth 1,000 words. And this project would give a megaphone to the voices of the advocates for action, Australia's flora and fauna, Indigenous cultures, oceans, land and future generations calling out for action on climate change. Speaker, I seek leave to table the document.
Is leave granted?
For Canberra, Mr. Speaker.
Leave is granted.
Thank you, Speaker. Today in this parliament is one of our first actions of the new Albanese Labor government. We introduced a bill to mean that every worker in Australia has 10 days of paid domestic violence leave. This is a win for years of advocacy from survivors, from unions, from frontline workers who have made this possible, and today is the end of that campaign, and I'm very proud it was one of our first actions. And today we wear this purple rose from the Australian Services Union in recognition of that advocacy. Eco-Feminism is a body of thought that uses the concept of gender to look at humans' relationship with nature. It explores women's connection with nature and the parallels between the oppression of women and the oppression of nature by humankind. And it is very clear from the incredibly powerful images and statements in this visual petition that the unbridled exploitation of our natural world by humans is nothing short of a violence against our earth that gives us life and sustains us, much like a mother. The climate crisis really has resonated with women in my community, and I don't want to in any way diminish the activism of men for climate action, which has also been mighty. But I do want to acknowledge the many groups, the women involved in this incredible project, but also the Parents for Climate Action, the Women's Climate Congress, the Women in Climate Health Network, the Common Grace Show Your Stripes project, and Tony Hassan, my constituent's incredible work, Conversation Pieces, Remembering Black Summer, which brought together women's recollections of that. And I've talked many times before about that experience here in Canberra as a relatively new member in my last term, just the depth of feeling from people in my community about that bushfire crisis. One is Amy Blaine, who is a contributor to this project, and I want to share what she wrote to me about it. The image that she has included is one of a burnt leaf, a blackened gum leaf in a child's outstretched hand. The child's hand is sitting in the palm of an adult. And Amy writes that she carried the leaf around for a long time, finding the right moment to take the photo. I thought I was waiting for the perfect light, she writes, for the right backdrop, but if I'm honest, it was just too difficult to take. The leaf came from our holiday home in Bermagui. I picked it up as we left suddenly during the 2020 bushfires. There was no clean water supply. We were disconnected and our 7-year-old was exhausted, terrified and constantly anxious. We drove home from the nightmare and found our newborn still had ash that fell from the sky in their ears. Our eldest had to get ash out of her eyes. We rushed back to smoke-filled Canberra where we suddenly felt unsafe and uncertain about our future, our kids' future. Journeys since then are often haunted with reminders of our little one, sounds of sirens and a preoccupation with why cars are travelling away from where we're going. What do they know that we don't? Why are they leaving? Her mother threw the leaf out and she rescued it, and she says that is the moment she realised that it's not about the photo, it's about the story, and she took her photo. I'm so proud now, having accepted this petition that I am able to present this in a government that is taking the action we need on climate change. It would have been just too depressing to do this had a government been elected that was not going to take the action we need, and I'm so proud that the people of Australia made that decision in May. Thank you, Speaker.
Order. I give the call to the